All right.
Okay, well, that was meant to happen. Welcome to the GXSimmer channel.
Yay!
Yay!
The music was good.
There we go. Hi, I'm Jen, the GXSimmer. Welcome to Friday Night Live. And tonight we are going to be discussing all things Sims 4, from the Enchanted by Nature trailer to the news on Paralives dropping with their trailer, and a whole lot more. So stay with us. It's going to be a great time. And welcome back to the channel, one of this channel's favorite guests. You know her as just Amon the Sims. Please welcome back to the GXSimmer channel on the GXSimmer Podcast, KT. Hey.
Oh, thanks for having me, Jen. I always love coming over here and hanging out with you. It's always a good time.
It is great to have you. Great to see you. So what have you been up to? How have things been going?
Everything's been going good. Been kind of busy. So I got some big life events coming up.
Yeah, I'd say so. In case you don't know, KT's about to get married. So congratulations to you and G. That's wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm sure he would be like, if he wasn't watching football tonight, basketball, he would be like, thanks. He's like NBA finals.
I get it. Totally get it. Mine's upstairs. He's watching his sci-fi movies. So yeah, I get it. 100%. But oh my God, what a week for Sims news. I mean, I could not wait to talk to you about this because so many great things have happened this week. From the Enchanted by Nature trailer that we just discussed. I saw your video the other day. You had a lot of amazing points that you brought up. And what was your overall feeling on the trailer as a whole?
I thought that it was a good trailer. I thought it looked beautiful. I've been right up front that I'm not the person that wanted fairies, but
Right.
I know that there are people that do want it. That said, I went into it thinking like, no, I definitely won't be getting this, or most likely won't be getting this pack. And I fell in love with the Bill Buy.
Yeah, that's how I felt initially about, fairies, because I'm not a big occult player. I do have werewolves, and I recently got vampires because, I love the Bill Buy vampires. I've said that a million times, but without going into a tangent on that. But the thing is that I was like, fairies, I could take it or leave it,
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, they really took that into an account with this pack, because it looks like there's a little something for everybody in this. So if you're not big into playing fairies, you could. The living house plants, I thought, was really great.
I was surprised.
Yeah. And the apothecary, I can't say. I'm not saying that. Apothecary.
Yeah, apothecary. Yeah.
Thank you.
Similar. Yeah.
Got hung up on there. You know what I was trying to say. But
I know.
Yeah. I mean, that's a new skill being introduced. Plus, I like the foraging that has been done with Little Bub's hunting and foraging mod. And now you can do that officially in game with the foraging.
Eat the raws.
Yeah.
Stuff you find.
And there's consequences with, you have these weird diseases like the Sonics. Let's do this. Let's pull up the trailer for a second. We'll keep it up volume on low in case.
Okay.
So we'll bring it down. There we go.
Sounds good. Yeah, we've got ailments. Yeah, I feel the same way. Like, I'm still not, like, I saw the trailer and I still am not thinking, oh, I can't wait to play fairies. I still don't want to play the fairies, even though they look beautiful.
Yeah.
But the cast items and the build buy, I'm wondering, Jen, do you think that the indoor plants are going to be one of the base game updates? Because usually they give us one big base game update.
That is a good question. That's a very good question. I would love for that to happen. I think that that would be fantastic if they did that. I
Yeah.
I think plants for everybody would be a wonderful thing,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't think
Me
they're
too.
going to. I think that this is going to be part of the pack, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I hope I am because I'd love for this to be part of the base game. Same thing with the gnomes. Although the gnomes, I'm not really too crazy about. You
Me,
know,
I delete them for Harvest Fest.
yeah,
The
that's
best
what.
thing about the nouns to me is that one of them is worth 195 simoleons.
Yeah, yeah. After when they hang out, I put them in the garden if I like a few of them. That's about it. I mean, that's their whole entire amount of usefulness for me.
Yeah.
But overall, I could care less. But
Yeah,
one
me
thing I
too.
gotta, yeah, I mean, one thing that surprised me about this, though, aside from the gnomes, was I'm not a big fairies player, but wow, did they do a great job on the fairies?
They did. I agree. The way they can shrink down and then get normal size. The wings were amazing. And I was
Yes.
watching a trailer, me and my daughter, and I was like, it's like that's like 5 different pairs of wings, like I'm counting them. And we go online to the Sims News and we find out that it's even more than that.
Right. That's exactly
And
right. And
some wings were small, some were huge. Gosh.
yeah, totally different styles available. I mean, I haven't seen this kind of diversity since Spinning Club Bob's Fairies mod, which I thought was like setting the bar for what fairies would be. And Sims team looks like they looked into that a little bit, took some notes from that. But
Hmm.
I think that
Took it up.
these fairies are going to be totally different from any type of fairies we've seen before.
Like Jen, you see her dressed on that last end screen, like the cast items. Oh my gosh. I liked even like the fairy sweatshirts and stuff that they had, the t-shirts, but the dresses really blew me away. They really,
Yeah.
I know when I'm live, all y'all see is in a t-shirt, but I'm a dress girly, and I was like, oh, look at that dress, look at that dress.
Yeah, the cast looks incredible. I'm not a big cast person myself, but
I know.
I was just like, wow,
Yeah,
that's impressive.
it's beautiful. The new hairs, the ones that were in the trailer look
Yeah.
great. I
Yeah.
was like, love it. The mother's hair, they had the mother and the father. I thought that was a new hair. I don't have all the packs, but I know I don't have that hair in my game. That's not like a CC hair. And I was like, oh, I loved her, especially in that red hair color. The daughters with the ponytail locks. The dad had the locks, and the little girl later in the trailer had the same locks. So I was like, oh, that's for kids and adults. Great, great. I don't know. They just did great with that stuff.
Yes, absolutely. And one thing that they absolutely nail each and every time, and you said this in your video as well, the world.
Uh-huh.
The Sims team makes beautiful worlds, hands down. And this looks like an incredible, beautiful, lush, the type of world you want to go vacation to.
Yeah.
It's definitely a huge selling point for any type of simmer, in my opinion. Especially
I
someone, if you're a player that doesn't like fairies, this could be a major selling point for you.
Yeah, and I saw that they got their inspiration for the worlds based on the Irish and Celtic inspiration, and I think
Yes.
I mean, the greenery. Some of my favorite worlds are the green worlds. So, like, I find myself in Henford on Bagley a lot, um,
Yes.
and I wish I could be in Jungle Adventure more, but it's locked down to vacations. But I would have people
Yeah.
live there all the time. So I love a green world, and the way they incorporated the nature aspect, we know that there's going to be a nature nomad or nature something aspiration.
Yes.
And they looped that the world is given nature, the build by like the houses with the tree looking swatches and the vines. It's just beautiful.
It
Beautiful.
is. It is. It's ooh, what was that? Was
I
that
don't
you?
know. I didn't hear it. Was it a sound?
It sounded like thunder.
It could be. You know what? I'm like immune to it. So
Yeah, I just heard that. I was like, wow.
you know what? I'm like immune to it. So it can be happening if it's not like a next level thunder, which is like real crazy. Even my dogs love it. It starts storming and they want to go out. Like the dog is trying to get in here because he wants me to let him out right now because he wants to be in a storm.
Wow. You were saying that about your dogs, that they love the storms. Mine
They
is,
do.
he's so afraid. Ever since we had that one tornado here, we had
Yeah.
I told you, we had an EF1 tornado hit here. And it was right, I could see the thing right outside my back door.
Oh,
And I was
yeah.
like, no way, no. And it took out the fence and it took out the tree. And there was a 40-year-old tree that my neighbor had. Snapped
Ugh.
it in half like a twig, came right down in my backyard. And I was just like, that was no, that was the real deal. And later they confirmed it. Yeah, EF1 tornado in Shirley Maniville area. I was like, wow.
Yeah, yeah, we get it bad here. So I think the dogs here kind of like acclimate to the weather. It's got to be real bad. Like I'll be yelling, like it'll be bad, and they will not come in. They're like, nope, they're out frolicking,
That's funny.
like skipping. I'm like, get in the house. And I know one day the lightning struck. I mean, it may have been like 5 yards away when it struck. My
Wow.
dog Bear froze. He was like, then he ran in. I was like, see, I told you.
Max, he'll cower. Max will jump up on the couch and just like go like this into a ball and look around like that. He hates storms. He hates firecrackers. Firecrackers the worst. He
My
goes
dogs don't
crazy.
care about any of that stuff. And that's why I don't have Sims4 cats and dogs because mine drive me crazy.
Well, one thing about the Sims4 cats and dogs, you don't have to necessarily play with the cats and the dogs, but the build buy is amazing. And Brindleton Bay World is fantastic.
My daughter told me because she got it a couple of months ago when they had a sale, and she's like loving the world. And
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of cat she's making because they some kind of crossbreed. And her dogs, I'm like, what is that? That's a dog. But yeah, she loves the world. but you know, that's what I was talking about. Even the packs I have not seen. I don't care. Like sometimes people complain about specific things, like maybe they feel it's too small or something like that. But I've never seen a world that didn't look aesthetically good in The Sims. It's just beautiful, and they nailed. It's called Innis Green for this pack.
Yes.
But there was
And
something I wanted to go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, it's okay. I would say we have somebody in the chat right now, and that would be Lyra.
Hey, Lyra.
Yeah. Thank you for coming tonight. So great to see you.
Yeah, I was gonna say, so I put out these videos yesterday about the pack late,
Yes.
and I was waiting and I was like, they're not like really moving like normal. So there's a feature in YouTube Studio, and I rarely use it, but you can go to your analytics, then you can go and see what's trending like
Yes.
in the Sims world.
Yes.
This is the first time I've seen this since I've been YouTubing. The Sims 4 Enchanted by Nature was not trending. I went to look. I think it'll give you like the top
Whoa.
20, and I just looked just now, like a second ago, right before we got on, and it shows you it'll show you the top 3 right on the front. You can click
Yeah.
and see more. It's like 20, and it's still not making it enough to be showing as trending. And I've never seen that before. You said you're not. Oh, she's not excited for the fairies.
Yeah,
The world.
I'm on the same wavelength as you, Lyra. I like the world, but the fairies. I'm not an occult player, but the fairies, I do have to say, they have really fleshed out really well. And
they look great.
Yeah, I like also the fact you said this in your video.
Mm-hmm.
There's the good fairies and the evil fairies.
Yeah.
And you can just have a ball being bad in The Sims.
Yeah.
You know,
Because now you got bad ghosts and
uh-huh.
you got, yeah, they're calling them discordant fairies that make life hard for other living beings.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you
Mm-hmm.
could be a criminal or a bad spellcaster because I've done that before. The
Yeah.
only occult I have in my game, other than the mermaids.
Yeah. Yeah. And even the pets, you can have nice pets or not so nice pets. They
I
can
didn't
be
even
mean.
realize that.
Well, the horses, they can be aggressive, they can bite. You
Oh
know,
my gosh.
the
Yeah, they
goats,
can.
the goats will
You can
headbutt
get
you and
killed. You know, you mentioned the ghost just now, Jen. I
yeah.
did not know until I'm playing Belle and Beauty and the Beast, and here comes Nina Caliente trying to pet the goat. The goat doesn't like her, so the goat stumped her toe, and it looked like he was trying to headbutt her. I was like, "Oh my gosh, it's attacking Nina!" I knew that the chickens could attack, and even the rabbits. I did not know the goats could attack you. But it takes Nina Caliente to show you something like
Uh-huh.
that.
Wait a minute. Speaking of goats, is
Uh-huh.
KA around?
Uh, KA, come here. We were talking about goats. So I want to show you something.
Okay.
Here,
Hi,
can
KA.
you?
Listen, your mom told me that you like the baby goat snuggle.
You like the baby goat snuggle?
Yes.
Did you? You did? Well, you know what? I got you your own goat. This is officially one of our goats.
Oh,
from
thank you, Lyra.
Yeah.
You say thank you?
Thank you.
You're very welcome. I'm gonna drop this in the mail to you on Monday.
You hear?
Mm-hmm.
All right. It's cute, huh?
Mm-hmm.
And this is your official goat.
That's your official goat. He's happy. He'll be carrying that thing around. Thank you, Lyra.
He is adorable. I'm so glad I could make him
Yeah.
smile today.
Yeah, he broadened out when you said you were sending it to him.
That thing
He
has
think
been
you showing him.
popular.
He's like, oh.
That baby goat snuggle at Long Island Game Farm has been very popular. We sold it out this weekend.
Oh my gosh, that's great news.
Yeah.
Lyra said, how did me and Jen meet? On YouTube?
Yeah, YouTube. I found KT's video on her Mad Side to Hysteries, and I loved it. I thought it was hysterical, and I
It
started
was
talking to her.
ridiculous.
I did. It was terrific. Tara, the mad scientist who goes around cloning all her neighbors and having children with various
I will
Sims
tell
like
you, it's
Patchy and Father Winter
Yes. Yes, she was having babies by everybody.
and
She was,
Grim.
yeah, any ridiculous thing I could think of, she was doing. I'm not gonna lie, she was so much fun until the end.
Yes, yes. And then she met her unfortunate demise. She died of hysteria, didn't she?
Yes, she had Grim Reaper's baby, and then I was like, "Oh, Grim's baby," and she just dropped. Oh, it seems like we're not. Jen is such a sweet person. She is
Thank
so
you.
sweet.
Thank you. And so are you.
We clicked. Then we found out like we both been Simmons since the
Yep.
first Sims.
Yep.
Like we're not in the young crew. Like we're not in that 20 something.
No,
Not 20 something, 30 something. Like
No.
we're not in that.
I'm not even in the 40 something.
I'm still in that crew, but yeah, we can understand each other. Like we click. I'm glad I met Jen. I'm glad she found the mad scientist, and after that, I was subscribed to her and found Nina and Amanda.
Yep.
And I was like, oh, she's both. She's playing with the blue lady. Cool. And the
Yes.
storytelling got better, but Tara was off the chain. Y'all, she was. We were bullying the town. We were having parties where we were mind controlling the town at the parties.
Yeah. Hive mind. Yeah.
Everybody ended up face down, butt up one party because
Yes.
we had the satellite to control people. We had the sim ray. Tara was unhinged. She was unhinged. I'm not gonna hold you.
That's why Tara was awesome.
Yeah,
And then
you're
you
right,
had
Jen. When we cloned all the neighbors, that was funny because then we cloned them and moved their clones back into their house with them.
yeah.
They did not. Some of the clones hated each other. They hated them. We go visit them later, like, hey, how y'all doing? We'll find out one moved out.
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess that's why, Jen, I'm not big on the occults because I don't really need occults. It's enough like outlandish things in the Sims. And even when people have tried to come along and kind of capture that similar magic, I think sometimes they go too serious, or like the Sims is just a good balance. If people want to play it realistically, they can. But if you just want to embrace all the kookiness, craziness, you can.
And that's what's great about The Sims is that you can be as crazy as you want to be. And this new pack is definitely going to let those people be that kind of crazy. I mean, I can imagine the kind of videos that are going to be coming out with this thing. It's going to be like, I can see Whiny Brit's videos being off the chain, your videos being off the chain. Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna. Oh, you're gonna start in a Occult world, Lyra? That is gonna be pretty cool. Yeah, I don't really do occults either, but sometimes I like to just dip my toes in and see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lyra said before that she has all the packs, every pack, everything.
Wow. I do too, except for Batu. I don't have Batu.
Okay, that's the only one. So y'all are really like doing it big over there.
Which is, unusual because right behind me on that wall is the Empire Strikes Back poster. I do like Star Wars. I am a Star Wars fan. But I don't like the way that Batu is. It just, it's not something that I want in my game, really.
Oh, you don't have Batu either. So that's funny. Y'all both have all the packs, but not Batu.
And I'm a Star Wars fan. Yeah. But you would think the opposite of that because you think I'd be jumping at that one, but no. Maybe if it goes on sale or if it's free, different story. But
yeah, if it's free, I get any pack that's free. you like old Star Wars.
Cool. Yeah, a lot of people say that. Yeah.
Yeah. I got a question, Jen. So when I saw the trailer, I was like, oh, I'm a little more open to getting this. I think the bill by alone just snatched me. Like, I was like, oh my gosh. But I started to think when I saw the apothecary and the whatever it's called, I think it's Nature's Nomad or something like that, where it's like an aspiration. I was like, do you think this is gonna be thanks. Do you think this is gonna be like life and death? Because when they started leaking stuff and it was just focused on Grim Reaper, but when we started seeing trailers, we found out, oh, you can just be a regular funeral director. You can play this pack without liking Grim Reaper. And after I did Twins of Death, I have never touched Grim again and probably won't for a long, long time. But I am not bored with Life and Death. It has been one of the best packs in my opinion.
I agree.
They have this pack, do you think it's going to go that direction where you can really play as a normie or an occult fairy?
I think that is the way it's going to go because I think that they have taken into account that, like we were talking about before, some people are not going to be into fairies. Yeah. And they need some kind of selling point for those people to like this pack. Yeah. The world is a big seller for me. Being a non-occult
look at that picture.
Yep.
Look at where you froze frame. It looks great.
I would go on vacation here in real life. This exists. I mean, this is gorgeous. Look at this.
Absolutely.
Wouldn't you go on vacation here?
Absolutely.
I would. You know,
Yeah,
I think this looks amazing. And I
me
love
too.
the build by is so intricate. I love the way that
Oh,
they've designed it. They also
yeah,
tasked Simmers with building some of the lots, which
yeah,
you can never go wrong when you do that. When they
yeah.
ask the builders to build, yeah, you always come out with these amazing
Everyone,
and beautiful lots that are just incredibly off the chain.
every one of oh, some people don't like the world. Wow.
I've heard
What's
that.
well,
Yeah, I've heard
yeah,
that.
but I think it's beautiful. Like I said, that's something they usually do well. I never complain about how the world looks. Like it's always just aesthetically beautiful. But there was this one build. I don't remember, the Simmers names that built. I told people in my video to go to the Sims News because they got quotes from each builder. But they were all beautiful. But there was this one house, and the lore behind it was that it was built into the biggest tree in the forest. That house is amazing. It's a huge, you can tell from the outside, it's a huge house. I mean, it just looks, the builder for that house, I mean, they really just stepped in it and just tap danced. Like they did great. I
They
couldn't
did.
believe they built that house that looked like that.
They did.
And
I think I know who you're talking about. I can't remember her name offhand.
I can't remember who built what lot or the names alone,
I saw
but
the video the other night, but the name escapes me now. But
yeah.
I can tell
The
you
house
that,
on the hill, somebody else built a
yeah,
house on the hill, and I said, oh my gosh, I would get it just to get in first person and look off of that hill in first person to see that, like, it's just beautiful. It's like flat at the top of the hill, and they built the house in the center. Oh, so this is what I was thinking, because y'all know I have been a business and hobbies junkie.
yes,
I was thinking, you've got the apothecary. You
yeah,
could build a
yeah,
business.
yeah.
Yeah. Get your skill up or not and build a business. And you can like do curses, because you can do elixirs to fix ailments, or you can do elixirs to curse people. And I was thinking, man, I got Beauty and the Beast going. I keep saying that he tangled with a voodoo queen. I needed the apothecary before.
Yeah.
He
And
could have had
now,
an actual curse.
yeah, all these if these curses or diseases or whatever they are, you know, this is going to add some really good dynamics here. And I'm going to be,
Yeah.
that's what's got me thinking about how these play out. In The Sims, they always add these little touches here and there, and it's these little touches sometimes that make the difference with the pack.
Yes. You're right. Lyra,
What
oh, you
in the
hope we
world
get
is
a
that?
new what?
What was that?
You heard a sound again?
Yeah.
Okay, I did not hear it that time. I did not hear it.
That
I
may
don't
have been
know.
that may have been me hitting the wrong button, I think, which
Lyra
is
says
not
she
entirely possible.
right. It happens. Lyra says she hopes we get a new death type. So in the news blurb, they usually tell you the new death types. And the only one I saw is that fairies, they do not eat food. They need to feed off of emotion. So they can
Hmm.
either do that from a sim, or they can go buy bottle emotions from an elixir maker, from one of the people. So they can drink that to feed off of emotions, or they can take it from a human. If they do not feed off of emotions for too long, they can die. So
Oh, wow.
that's the only new death that they listed in the news article. Now it's been a couple times they didn't list them, but normally they put them. I don't think we're gonna get any other ones, but you never know, because when the fairies attacked the guy, I'm like, could he die from like a fairy attack? I don't know. It didn't say that though.
That would be interesting.
Yeah. So
Death
I
by
guess that
fairy.
death by fairy sounds crazy. But I mean, I guess like, the mermaids, if they don't get enough hydration, they have issues. So the fairies need to eat emotions.
Yeah,
So
that's
that's
very
what we
cool.
got. That's why I'm really hoping that it's a lot. Oh, I did also read that the regular Sims that are not occult, they can use fairy dust and they can use it to improve the quality of their plants. It listed like 3 things and it said there's more things that they can use fairy dust for. So you can use it without being a fairy.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That I missed.
Yeah. It
That's a
this
good
was
point.
like one. Jen, this was like one of the longest news blurbs that I've seen from them, like where they break down after they release the
Yeah.
initial trailer and they talk about what's going to be in the pack. It's one of the longer ones I've seen in a while.
I think when that leak came out from Instant Gaming and people started surging on that, they were like, yeah, we can't hide this any longer. We're just going to put it out there. And I'm glad that they did because they got ahead of the leak. They explained what they need to explain. They showed us the trailer and they're just like, okay, yeah, here it is. But now the question is, of course, it's going to sell. People are going to buy it. You're going to buy it. I'm going to buy it. You know,
Yeah.
I love what I'm seeing here. The only thing, like I said, I'm hoping that there aren't any, you know what I'm talking about. If there are major bugs
I
and
know.
glitches, that's going to be a killer. But I'm just hoping that quality control has really, done what they needed to
Yeah.
do to make sure that this pack launches somewhat seamlessly.
Yeah.
Because we've seen too many disasters with launches, and it's not fair to the Sims. It's not fair to the Sims community at all.
It's not.
It's
No.
not. No, my wedding disasters was. I mean, they hate when I talk about this. I know this because it's like sub count goes up, sub count goes down. I wonder if that's the Sims team. Yeah, probably is. But anyway,
It might be. It's no telling. I don't put it past.
but to speak of it, as constructive criticism, you can't do that with the launch. You just can't to your community who's behind you like this, because then you have a competitor come out like as we saw this week, Paralives.
Yeah. I saw the trailer.
I was blown away by it. I thought that it was just incredible what they did. And I'm just going to throw it on the screen for a second. Just so we can notes on this.
Yeah, I thought it looked great too, Jen. And okay, from the first time I saw Inzoi, I wasn't impressed just because I'm not into that super realistic looking gameplay. But now this one is more cartoony than the Sims. It's like if the Sims 2 and the Sims 4 had a baby. Their look to me. but it's more appealing to me. Looks like Animal Crossing with Sims. Yes, that is a better description. It is giving me that. And I think kind of the music that they put with the trailer gives me that too. But it is more appealing to me the way it looks than like Inzoi ever was. Like I knew right away I would not be, dealing with Inzoi.
Yeah. One thing I want to talk about right now, this is something that I really like about Paralives, is the gradual aging. This is something that we don't have in The Sims that I would love to see in The Sims. That
I know.
That's a missed opportunity. That should have been in Growing Together, in my opinion.
You're right. You know what? And if you're gonna do it in the stages, I wish when Growing Together came out that they had put 2 elder life stages, like a retiree maybe and an elder, so that they didn't look as old all the time. And I wish they had went back and did the teens like they had in Sims 2 and 3, where they were shorter and looked younger. And they should have did that with the pack I don't have, high school years. They should have fixed teens with high school years. But I think the graphics were already out. I mean, the animations, they weren't going to be able to fix that, I don't think.
No.
That's cute right there.
This I love. This I absolutely love. And it's that little touch, that little bit of emotion that animation like this speaks volumes. What stories you could tell right here. Why is she like that? Did she just lose her job? Did she get divorced? Did her husband die?
Right.
Are they getting evicted? Did they lose their house? Is
Yeah.
she sick? There's tons of ways you could expand that further. And
Yeah.
sometimes I think that the emotions in The Sims lacks that.
Yeah. It was like really bad at first, and it's gotten a little better over time with like, for example, I felt like Love Struck brought more emotions into the
Yes,
game.
it did.
Life and Death brought more emotions into the game. And I will say lately, I call it my game has been gaming. Even so, I was live last night and I was playing the twins, and they had been ripping and running all, during the live. You were in that live, and
Right.
so as soon as I got off, I got a pop-up. It was their mom, Goldie, calling them. And she was like, I put all my efforts into raising you.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen
Yes.
you. Where are you? And it was like, can you come? I will come see you,
Yeah.
or you can come over now, or I'll catch you tomorrow. Like she was saying when she came over, she immediately like snatched both twins up into hugs.
Yeah.
I'm like, yes.
Well, I'm going to call it that this little indie studio is like the little engine that could. I mean,
Absolutely.
and they're going to make a huge impact. They're going to be a real competitor for The Sims, but that's good because
Mhm.
if you have, and I am going to say this, I don't believe Inzoi is a real competitor for The Sims. And I think The Sims knows
It
that.
never was.
No.
Yeah, it never was.
No. Unless they do a 360 on that game and make major changes and major additions,
Yeah.
maybe. But for me personally, that realistic style, that's not my
Oh.
type of game.
Yeah, and Jen, and at this point, Enzoy, like you built the game, you put time and money like to build it this way. It's so hard to change it. And Lyra says she doesn't think paralyzes either. And that's an interesting statement because I think that we'll see when early access comes out, but if it can live up to the way it looks right now,
Yeah.
I think that what it would be is where it has a chance to build its own brand and build a strong brand. Still two very separate brands, The Sims and Paralyzed. But yeah, will it ever replace this? Nothing's gonna replace our Sims. We know that. But I think that if this game can live up in early access to what they're putting out there, because that's two different things,
Right.
it could stand a chance of building its own empire, I'll call it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Easily.
And Lyra said she plays like out of nostalgia. I definitely play The Sims out of nostalgia. It's my comfort game. I don't care what else I play. Like I'm a big Nintendo head. Like we play the Marios. I like Delicious Emily franchise, but I'm always gonna sim. I'm always and always have. I don't care. Look, Jen,
I'm a
marriage,
simmer for
divorce,
life.
babies. Yeah, babies. Like I don't care what's going on in life. I'm playing The Sims.
Yes. And that's the other thing The Sims knows is that The Sims knows they have a solid lock on their fan base. There are going to be those that are going to stray. There are going to be those that are going to be like, F you, we're going to Paralives. F you, we're going to Inzoi. But there's also the ones that are going to be like, ride or die. And those are the ones like you and I. And even more hardcore people that are, like I've said in the past, are not on social media, but they are there and they are buying every single pack. Those are the
You're
ones
100% right, Jen.
they're
You're
going to stay.
100% right. Mm-hmm.
They're going to stay with them, and no matter what these guys throw out, but at the same time, it gives them room to say, okay, how can we make Sims better?
Yeah.
How can we make this a better experience for our players? And they've been doing that since they came out with that statement. They look at Life and Death. Life and Death was a solid grand slam from me. It was a solid hit in general. I think it was their biggest seller.
Oh, was it? I
I'm
didn't know
pretty
that,
sure. I'm
but
pretty sure
I know.
it was pretty big.
Well, you know what, Jen? I can believe
One
that
of their
when I
biggest
think back.
sellers, I will say. Let me
Well, when I
walk
think
that
back to
back.
all the hype around it, I could see that being a big sell, like a top seller. And you said it's a great pack. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you something. Life and death snuck
Totally
up
agree.
on me because I thought everybody was flipping about the Reaper, and I didn't care one bit about the Reaper. So I was watching it like, oh, this looks all right, you know. And I think by the time we hit the gameplay walkthrough and they did it with the cross pack integration,
Yep.
you know, I was in. And once I started playing it, when I say I love Life and Death, I never expected to like it the way I like. You know, I probably out of sheer will, I will not let it dethrone grow together, but I know it moved to your top pack.
It is my favorite pack right now. It is totally my favorite pack because that one little thing that you can do, you can die in the bed as an elder. And you can
Yes.
have a more meaningful death when the sim passes. And funerals, customized funerals the way you want to. That,
Yes.
you know, I think they've done funerals the best out of any of the other iterations of the games previously. And I was very, very impressed with it. For me, it was a solid grand slam, no question. The other thing was B&H. B&H for me was a grand slam, which I hesitated on giving.
You were like, you were a tough critic on them, but you came back like, oh, growing together is her favorite. Yeah, growing together. You know, I'm such a family game
Second favorite for
player.
me.
Okay, yeah, I know Life and Death dethroned it. I knew, but you know
Okay.
what? If it had to be dethroned, that was the best pack to do it.
Yes.
Business and hobbies has consumed my sim life because
Yes. I've noticed that just a little bit lately.
I got businesses everywhere. And you know, I did a poll and you all voted. And so I put the motel build
Motel.
out. Yes, I put it out Tuesday.
I
And what
saw.
I've already done is popped it in one of my save files. And I found a random townie with enough money to buy it so that, you
Oh,
know, yeah, so that my Sims can go visit the motel now. Yeah.
nice.
I said,
Nice.
yeah. Look, I was going to the big houses, Jim. Let me tell you how raggedy the Sims are. I was going to the big houses, like I'm in Del Sol Valley, looking in the big house, and the people there, they like the people in the giant houses in the real world, but they broke. They're broke. I'm like, y'all don't have $63,000 to buy a motel.
Oh, man.
It took like 5 houses. I'm going to all the big houses. Maybe I should have been in the
Wow.
small or medium houses to find somebody with enough money to buy the
Wow.
motel. But I'm gonna keep building businesses, Jen, and I'm gonna upload them to the gallery so that if people want them, they can do the same thing. They can download them, and if they just want a place for their Sims to visit, they can go to a random townie's house and have them buy it.
There you go.
things things fly, man. I'm gonna tell you this, Lyra. Now on
A
my
little bit.
live,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
on my live with the twins, and she's selling seashells and stuff they dig up in Solana. We begging people, we like, please buy a seashell.
Yeah.
It's not,
The
they
sway to
not
buy
flying for
thing,
them.
the sway to buy feature, that takes like 5, 6, 7 times until they finally do it.
And then they get embarrassed, Jen, so they can't try again for a while.
Yeah. It's like,
I was
oh my
begging.
God. Ugh.
Yes, I was begging Sims to buy a urn. I know. But a Sim died in our store, so we were broke. That was on a sister secret. And I figured like we could sell this urn from this Sim that died. So in the meantime, we can't sell it. I'm begging people to buy it. And the Sim is hunting our house because we got their urn there. Yeah, the seashells. I'm begging people. I'm like, look, it's a rare seashell. It's a heart of Sulani. Don't you want it? The people like, girl, we dig these up all the time too. We live here with you.
We have too
I'm
much fun
telling
on
you,
these on Friday Night Live.
we
This has
do.
been so. We haven't done this in so long. This is awesome.
We have been. It's been too long.
Yeah, it's been way too long. We got to do this more often. It's like you having a rough week or a tough time at work. Just go Friday Night Live. That's it.
Yes. On Friday the 13th, we are live and acting up.
Exactly. You don't need to go to the bar. Just go to Friday Night Live.
Don't need. Yeah. So what I have noticed, if you play businesses and hobbies more extensively,
Right.
what you're selling based on your location matters. Yeah, I think our Sims are a little bit smarter.
Thank you for coming, Lyra. We really appreciate it. I hope
Bye,
you have
Lyra.
a wonderful night.
It's always great to see you.
Take care.
I was telling I think I was in Lyra's live and I was telling her that since I started doing YouTube, like you feel this, like it is a journey. Like you're doing your best, you're learning, but you're still like you're putting your best work that you know to do. And it's an uphill battle, but you meet some of the best people sometimes. Like,
oh, absolutely.
It's
Present
like a
company.
community. Yeah, a little community we built is great.
Yeah. And you are so close to 1,000. I am so happy for you. I root for you all the time. I'm like, yeah, she's going up further.
Let me cross my fingers. It's the same thing.
It's
like
gonna happen.
When you see it, it's gonna happen. I do have faith in it. But when you see it, it's like the numbers slow down.
It's
you
like
just about the go down, go up. You're like, oh, okay.
Oh, it's sometimes I think that I'm not progressing enough, and sometimes I think I'm falling behind. But everyone goes at their own pace. Everyone goes at the pace they want to, the pace they're comfortable with, and that's fine. Some people, I don't know how, and
I don't either.
It's just
but
like
great.
Day 2, 5,000 subscribers. How the hell did that happen? And then there are others that, incrementally, and then all of a sudden they take off. So,
yeah,
everyone grows at their own pace. And in that journey, you meet incredible people. I have met you, Lyra, Rocky, Sims for Seniors. She's fantastic.
Yeah, you talk about Sims for Seniors.
Even the big Simmers, I'm like, I'm surprised I get to talk to them. Like chat with Nardville, and I chat with.
He is so nice and helpful.
He is.
Yeah,
he is, and he gives back. He definitely gives back. I see that all the time. He's a great force in the community, and
so you're right. It is. You just meet so many people and you start to realize like, oh man. And so in that, I think Lyra's comment is right. Like a Sims player, it is about a nostalgia because what I think happens is you have a sect of these very negative Simmers. Okay.
Yeah.
Now I always agree with you. You're what the hell are you doing, Sims team? When you had that point, and you rightly so, you was like, okay, I'm gonna have to suspend it because they have been on top of they're doing these packs don't come out, they're listening better, and people do change, companies change. So
I gave them credit for it. I gave them props when they needed it, but I also said, guys, you're screwing up. And the reason why the whole reason why I started Sims Team, what the hell are you doing, is because I would actually sit there and scream and go, what the hell are you doing? What is this? What did I just pay for? What, my wedding disaster? This should not be happening.
It was bad. It was bad. So it was bad, Jen. It's like, who was in charge? Like,
yeah.
So I always told you that yours was constructive and real criticisms.
And that's the thing.
There's this extremely toxic sect where even when it's so good, like Life and Death was so good, Jen, that the
Oh yeah.
toxic people, I had to go check them out. They were like, I guess it's okay. Like it was like they were gonna poop a brick because they had to admit they was
Yes.
good. They couldn't do it. It's like it hurt
Nope.
them. And so,
Nope.
but what I was gonna say is what happens is sometimes those people are so loud that the people following them start to think that's the majority of simmers, but
Yeah.
it is not. And I think you said this, and Lyra alluded to it in the comments as well. A lot of the simmers that are old school, we are here, we have never left. We
That's
are
right.
not loud. A lot of us don't, we're not on the internet, we're not on X and this saying, oh, we just love the Sims, we just playing. And so you
Yeah.
start to think that the complainers and the toxic people are the majority when in actuality they are the minority. And so you start to find that out, and they find it out because when the pack comes out, Jen, and it sells like hotcakes, they're like, you're a sheep, you're a bypass, who's buying the pack? I'm like 5 million people. They're buying the pack.
Or worse, if you're in the EA Creator Network and you happen to say something positive, oh, that's a shill. That's
Yeah,
that's an EA shill.
they
And
bought you. I'm like, they don't pay them.
exactly. But at the same time, are you in the EA Creator Network? No, you're not. Are
And
you
they're making their money out the Sims by being critiquing them without the
right?
Sims. They're always like, I hope they shut the Sims down when Inzoi came out, Jim. I
Oh,
hope they
please,
shut the
yeah.
Sims down. And here I go.
That was
I'm like, these the
ridiculous.
young people following them, Jen, because I'm like, young people, they don't hope they shut the Sims down. If the Sims shut down, they don't have a channel tomorrow
Yeah.
because they're making all their money complaining about the Sims
Yeah.
while playing it all night when they get off.
Well said. Absolutely. That is so true. That is
Yeah.
so very true.
Yeah.
Because it's either the good publicity or the negative publicity. And either
Right.
one of them, they're going to profit from either one.
And the negative people that only criticize it, if you watch, their numbers grow faster a lot of times. So they will take their role and listen to me, people. Those people be playing the Sims all the time when they're not making that negative video. They live and breathe the Sims.
Now, I will admit that I have a few of them that I listen to that could be construed as negative. But one of them, people absolutely hate beyond measure. I won't even say his name because if I do, they're going to be like, and probably drop off quicker than you can imagine. Because he's like, Voldemort!
Yeah.
But honestly, I watch him because he has some good points. He does make some good points. And he's just hysterical sometimes. He cracks me up with some of the things that he says and does. And you know who I'm talking about.
I do.
But yeah. But and then there's others. I'm listening to them for like 2 minutes. I'm like, oh no, I can't.
Yeah.
No,
Like,
I can't.
I can't do it.
No, I can't do it.
But
Can't do it.
And I know, like with your podcast, what the hell are you doing? The Retire War, you had to change the name of it, but and it's on reserve Sims 10. So if it needs to come back, it can.
If there is reason for it to come back, I will be like, welcome to season 2 of Sims Team. Yeah. What the hell are you doing?
Yes, I always liked it because it was holding their feet to the fire, but in a constructive way and not being ugly and rude to people that just work there. Like, I just work for this company. I don't control the company. I just have to do my job and I got to make a living. So I'm going to get my paycheck. So I understood that.
Right.
But and you were right, Jen, because even when they came back and fixed. So, this is the thing. We're talking about me getting married next week. Right. And so I was talking about how I don't like weddings. I don't. So when my wedding stories came out, even though I thought it looked beautiful, I was like, I don't care about weddings. The reason I got that pack was for the bill buy alone. I was like, I need this bill buy. And almost every bill I put something from my wedding stories. But then I tried to play a wedding because I got this pack and nothing worked. I mean, and I could see you saying, "What the hell are you doing?" Because I was looking at like who cleared this? Like what supervisor looked at this and said, "This is good enough," and
Yeah.
let it go. But
Yeah.
when they fixed it, because they had to fix it to do funerals, is my
Yes.
theory, because it works the same way.
Right.
It works beautifully now.
It
Every once in a
does.
while, I get something crazy, but they came back and added even more features, like you can tell people to stand on different
I
sides of the
love
arch.
that. Yeah. You can make the
Love
group
it.
stay there, but he won't
Yeah.
stay for very long.
Yeah, my one I was like, "Oh, I need to hug this sim." I'm like, "Boy, get back."
Yeah. You know what else I couldn't do? Did this happen to you in your game? I tried to make them say the vows with the officiant, and it would not work. They kept saying, "Your Sim's fiance is not on the premises." I'm like, "It's still right there. What are you talking about?" And the thing was, this was in the last video.
I saw. I watched it today.
And I was playing it back, and I was going to do the voiceover, and then I'm listening to myself, and I'm like, "Oh no, I got to use this." And that's me actually playing. But what's wrong with you? What are you doing?
I could tell. I was laughing. I
Now
watched
you
it
decided
today.
to show up.
Yeah, I am still like a few days behind on the videos like that I want to watch. So I got to it today. So I'm watching and I'm really tickled because it's reminding me of this time where you know how you put your wedding cake, you assign the cake to the wedding, then you can't find the cake.
Oh, yeah.
I remember I was flipping out on Twist of Fate, and I was like, "Where is that cake? Where?" I made it to a store because I was flipping. I'm like, "Where is the cake? And then 2 days later, Jen, I kid you not, 2 days later, this Sim pulls a piece of cake out their pocket. I said, "That's the wedding cake. That is the wedding cake. It's not spoiled or anything." After they put the cake out, Jen, I'm looking at inventories, household, personal. I still can't find the cake, but they start pulling cake out all day. I was like, this. So yeah, but I didn't have it happen with the officiant. But what I found when it happens, it's like a glitch that sometimes I tell them to walk away from the arch and come back. It just happens sporadically, but I have absolutely gotten it. It'll be like there is no one near your sim to marry, or their fiance is not, but they're both standing right there. And sometimes I'm able to walk them back and then walk them back to the arch.
Right.
I think it was one of the packs that came out. I think Love Struck, and they redid the routing in the Sims. I think it's tied to that, because ever since they did that, say you got a computer, right, with the seat. If I click on the computer and tell my Sim to do anything, write a book, they won't do it. But if I tell them to sit in the chair and then do it, they do it. It's like a routing thing. Yeah. And so anytime I get Sims that sometimes they'll wave their hand and sometimes they just won't do it, I get them closer to the object, try again, and it works. It's the new routing. It's not even new anymore because that was right before Love Struck, I think. But yeah, so hopefully that does it for you. But yeah, I've met wonderful people on this Sims journey. It is just a blessing, and and it is at your own pace. I know what jumped my number a lot was when I found I was doing hidden details in Love Struck, and I think that video has like 30 something thousand views, and I'm a little tiny channel.
Getting bigger, almost. I wouldn't say your little tiny channel almost getting to 1,000. That's a major milestone.
I'm looking forward to it, but everybody's growing. It's persistence, and I'm always a lot of people say like, "Oh, don't base your YouTube channel for one game or one thing," but one thing I am confident about is that the Sims is going to be around. Even if I don't want to play their fairies, they're going to be around. And if I don't want fairies, I'm going to like the next pack, you know?
Yes. Yes.
But would you play, like, do you think you will play a fairy?
I might try it. Yeah. I might give it a shot. I mean, the thing is, I I bought werewolves because I thought it was a great pack, and I still think it's a great pack. But I was the longest time I was on the fence about the other occult, the vampires, because I still don't play with vampires. I will not touch them. I see them come to the house. I'm like, get out of here. It's like,
You're not
get out
feeding
of here.
Vlad. You're supposed to feed Vlad.
It's like I hit send home. Take a hike. Like, get out of here. But the thing that hooked me on vampires was when Marmalade did this build of a New York style Art Deco hotel. And it was just like, whoa.
I can imagine.
Marmalade's an incredible builder. She's my favorite builder. And
Off the charts. Great.
Amazing. And I was like, I have to get this pack now.
Yeah.
I want that hotel in my game. I got to get that pack now. And that was the whole reason why I got it. So with fairies, will I play with them? Maybe, maybe not, because it's not really my thing. I'm more of a realistic gamer, simmer, I should say. But I will definitely use that as vacation world. And if I really like the world, I may do a whole family in that world, Oh,
yeah.
But I think it has a lot of potential for non-occult players. I think it has a lot of stories to tell. I think it can be extremely useful. And will it sell well? Absolutely. Do I think it's going to be a grand slam? I don't know. We'll just see when it comes out. But one thing I do want to bring up, I want to show you something that they were discussing on Twitter the other day. We saw the roadmap that was released, and they gave specific dates about what was to happen. Now they released something today where let me just bring you over here, and I'll make this bigger.
Okay.
Where is it? Goodness gracious. Okay, here we go.
Okay.
Is that the one? Yeah. Okay. So they've got the different items highlighted, but the dates are missing.
They are.
What's up with this? Are they going to, I don't know. Are they going to switch it up on us? Are they going to say instead of the 26th, is it going to be a different day? Or interesting, right?
Originally it is. It actually is. Originally they said the pack was coming out like July 12th or something, I think.
Yeah. I have it right
so
there.
It's a lot of stuff packed into this. I mean, some of this might be just some of this might just be released on like Instagram and Twitter, like little 30-second, 20-second things, but that's a lot packed in between now and July 12th too. So I know they're supposed to do the gameplay trailer, they said yesterday, on the 26th. I'll say I can't wait to see that, but this is different. I've not seen them do, like, if the trailer has been released, the initial pack announcement trailer, I have not seen them not put the dates on the following stuff. Like, they usually have the dates on it. So, I mean, you've got that. And I was telling you how that, I just looked and saw that it's not trending anywhere or not on YouTube. So, that is interesting that they don't have the dates on it now. I don't know. And maybe it means nothing. Oh, I'm excited a little bit about that Nature's Calling event. I really just want the swimsuit.
Yeah.
It's a swimsuit and swim trunks that they showed, and the stuff that will be a reward. I need that swimsuit and those swim trunks. I deleted all my clothes, CC. I need that.
And not only this is what's got my attention. You got an update coming on July the 1st. That's the Enchanted by Nature update. And you got this one over here, the 20th or 19th. Now,
yes,
this is the other thing I'm thinking about, which might be in a free update. I don't know if it will be. I hope it will be. And it's something that everybody has been screaming about since day one that the Sims 4 has been released. cars.
You think they're gonna do it?
This is the thing I believe, that cars
Mm.
are extremely popular. They have been,
I would be happy about that.
and they always have been. If you were to release an expansion pack with cars, major uproar. People would be like, this should be a base game update. This is a cash grab. What are you doing? Because
You're right.
look at it this way. Toddlers were a base game update. Infants,
Infants. Yeah.
right? Pools base game update. Ghost base game update. Fleshing out ghosts further, life and death. Giving
Yeah.
more abilities with the tree, making them a more powerful occult, life and death. But still, you have them in the game without life and death. So you can play them like vanilla ghost.
You
But
can.
right. But then you have the update where you can be a playable or non-playable ghost at death.
Yeah.
That's outside of life and death. So
It is base game.
is it a little not too far-fetched to believe that they would release cars as a base game update, but maybe basic cars? A
Yeah.
minivan, a sports car, a sedan. Here's your
I
cars.
can
Shut
agree
up.
with this.
Yeah.
I'm following what you're putting down. Like, I'm picking up what you're putting down, because you're right. You would have to put it base game. And I will say too, if you've got expansion pack launching on July 10th, you're
Mhm.
definitely not about to launch another expansion pack the very next month, or even the month after, probably.
Right.
So yeah. And if you have planned, this is June, if you have planned this far out, because to do a free base game update, I don't think it's just going to be the normal fixes. I believe they'll have some
Right.
fixes in there, but it's got to be something big you're adding.
Right.
So if they did cars, are you thinking they're doing like Sims 1 and 2, where the car, you can have your car in the driveway, it
Right.
pulls out, drives, and disappears, but you can
Right.
still woohoo in it and relax in it. You could do a few interactions in the car.
Right. Right. Like, I think what they're going to have is maybe like this car space that you can put wherever on your lot.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can just, boom, park the car there. Or you can build a garage and park the car there. Look at the last kit that came out, the handy kit. That
Mm-hmm.
looked an awful lot like a garage kit.
I agree. And I got another one to add into, because see, I'm following you now. I got another one in business and hobbies. They had these big double doors that you can put up, and they kind of marketed like you could build like a garage business, like a business in your garage. I even
Right.
used some in Mending His Heart, because I had put him a
Right.
garage with a car in it, and I took it out to make his business, and I put these giant double door things.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's like you getting the game ready. Now you're getting me a little hype, because usually people have the cars, and I'm like, we'll see. But no, I'm following it, because the restoration kit, and I bought that kit, it
Mhm.
does look like your garage shop. Like, I have a shop in my
Yeah.
garage. I'm fixing up old fridges and things like that. And I also have my car out here. I can fix it up too once
Yeah.
it comes out.
Yeah. Now, go a bit further. We know another expansion pack is coming out. What
Mhm.
expansion pack is transportation related? Not just maybe more expensive cars, maybe the mechanic career, maybe more boats, maybe the ability to have boats.
That'll be
Something
great.
now, I think boats, maybe not, I don't know, but mechanic career,
Yeah,
that's a possibility.
it is. And I'll take you one step farther, because a lot of, when this discussion comes up, it comes up that, Sims4 is a closed world, but we know that we've had closed worlds in previous Sims installations and had
Yes.
cars.
Yes.
In addition to that, the Sims world is not as closed as you would think. And I say that for a few reasons. Number one,
Right.
bicycles. If you buy a
Mhm.
bicycle and you tell your Sim to ride that bicycle, they will ride for hours. And if you go in first person or just click where you can lock onto them and follow them, they ride all into areas that you should not be able to get to without reloading your screen.
Yeah.
So to me, cars should have similar mechanics. Also, many goats and many sheep. So you like, where you going with this, KT? The first time I got many goats and sheep, I did not know to build a fence to put them in. My mini goals. I was in Hanford on Bagley, Jen. I could only find them by telling the guy to sell them. Cause I mean, I had looked everywhere. I'm talking about the neighbor's house. Like I had the camera panning. You
Wow.
know how your camera can't go farther than a certain point.
Yeah.
I had to tell him to sell the goat. So he ran to get the goat. And you know, you click on your sim and it jump over. When I say they were clear across, like in Bramblewood, and I'm down here by town,
Whoa.
I said, wait, my sim can't go there without me reloading a screen,
Oh my
but the
God.
goats and sheep can go. So bicycles,
Wild.
goats and sheep, they can roam. And even now, I agree with you. Maybe they'll do both, maybe not. But if you, like, I'm doing conservation career in Sulani right now,
Right.
it's one where you have to patrol the waters. Now you can ride quite far out in that canoe, farther than you would think. You know, you would think like, oh, I can't ride over there, and it's taking you everywhere.
Right.
So I
Yeah.
think that is not off the table. I think it's harder because a lot of the water worlds are very limited. But like in Sulani, you can go pretty far in those canoes. So
You
yeah,
can.
I you're the
And the
first person
opposite,
that makes me think, yeah, this could happen.
I think it's a possibility. And, sometimes you hide things in plain sight. We've seen a lot of teasing about vehicles, transportation. One of the updates that we had included
Mhm.
a new transportation link in Build to Buy. And
Yeah,
you have your bikes in there, you have your canoes in there, you have whatever is in there. You would have cars in there, more than
yeah,
likely. You would have boats in there,
you would.
you know?
I noticed they added that category in. So yeah, they do hide things in plain sight. For example, when Life and Death came out, I remember watching Dr.
Mhm.
Glue on, and I'm gonna say this was a long time before the pack came out because a different pack had come out and he was seeing like Grim Reaper clues. So he's
Right?
like pointing out all these Grim Reaper clues. And I said, oh, that's like, oh, that sounds good because he's really finding stuff. Then I'm gonna say like a year went by,
Yeah.
nothing. I was like, oh, I guess he was wrong. And boom, Life and Death, you can be the Reaper. I was like,
Yeah.
what? Shut up. We got the Reaper event, and then they announced Life and Death. I was like, shut up. I remembered that video that he had done so long ago, picking clues
Yep.
3 packs ago. 3 or 4 packs ago, and boom, there it was. They always drop clues because they like to tease us, and they know that there are those simmers that like to comb the descriptions in Build by. Um,
Yes.
little stuff, you can have they'll have it on the back of a tarot card or something. They put the clues there. It's always there. You're right, always there. So,
So
I,
it's not too far fetched. It could happen. Now
Jen,
it
I miss
probably.
Car Woohoo. I need Car Woohoo back.
I agree. I agree. Car Woohoo definitely needs to come back. You know, I also think that the new expansion pack could possibly be hotels. That's another popular one. And if you remember, they had this post that was made on their TikTok where they had
Hmm.
a fairy emoji, a
Yeah.
hotel emoji, and a
Hmm.
horse emoji,
They did.
and a car was the
Yeah.
last one. We got the horses.
Yeah.
We now have the fairies. The
That
hotels and
makes
the
sense.
cars remain. Not too far fetched to believe that the next free update could be cars, and the next
Mhm.
expansion pack could be hotels.
I could see that too because um whatever people think about for rent, I love that pack. Because you have the infrastructure for rent, I
Yes.
is there that infrastructure allows for you to have hotels as well. So I could see them putting hotels in the game and maybe tweaking for rent so that it makes it where you can piggyback those hotels off of it. Just like I was talking about the funerals in life and death,
Mhm.
they are nothing but the weddings and my wedding story. I mean, I love the feature, but you can tell, and I believe in working smarter and not harder. So,
Right.
yeah, you got this pack doing this, and you can take that building stone or building block and build a funeral now off of the wedding block. Do it. So, if you
Yeah.
can build a hotel off of the for rent block, build it. I can see it, Jen. Oh,
And
go ahead.
go a bit further. Own the hotel. Build
Hmm.
the hotel out the way you want to. Like one of the best mods that I think for hotels is Sweet Life by Lot 51. It is absolutely hands down the way hotels should be done in The Sims
Yeah.
4. It has its issues too. I will say that.
Okay.
It does
Yeah.
get a little glitchy sometimes, but overall, you can check into this hotel. You
Mm-hmm.
can have a customized menu of what you want. You can have a continental breakfast. The chef prepares the food. You have
Yeah.
housekeeping walking around cleaning up. You have the handy guy fixing things.
Yeah.
You've got the table service if you want to have dinner there. The spa service if you want to have a massage. It's
Yeah.
it's absolutely fleshed out
It's I
phenomenally
watched
well.
you play it and other summers play it. It looks great.
And
Yes. And go shower and brush teeth.
but it is a mod. And it's not available for console yet. It would only be available. It's only available for PC. But if
Oh,
I
okay. I didn't know that.
but if I can think of any kind of mod that should resemble a hotel pack for The Sims 4,
Mm-hmm.
it's definitely that one. But that out of doubt. And if they take a note from that mod,
Mm-hmm.
that would be an incredible pack. People would,
Yeah.
especially if they do it right.
Absolutely. And like you said, if they looked at this other one for fairies and then took it and ran with it, built on top of it, and ran with it, I don't see why they wouldn't do the same thing. And I will say, like, even they're known for this. So like I love Love Struck. I'm in on Cupid's Corner all
Yes.
the time, but before Cupid's Corner, I was using A, Little Miss Sam's dating app, and B,
Mhm.
Lumpanoodle's Meet and Mingle dating app.
Yeah.
And once I got Love Struck, I deleted those. Didn't need them anymore. I was like, they took what they had, added some improvements to it, and I run with it. So I could see that happening. And I was also gonna say, when you were talking about cars, they had a survey out. Oh, this has been a while ago, and it was just a general survey asking, as a sim player, what packs, if all of these packs were a possibility, and there were a few, Jen, which one would you be most interested in? Well, one of them was dedicated to elders, so that your elder could like buy
Right.
a RV and travel the world. To
Yeah.
If you gotta do an RV, you gotta have a car, like cars, I would think first, to be able to do this RV world, like where you're traveling the world in an RV. So
Yes.
yeah, because that's not going to be stationary. You're going to be able to see it on the road somewhere. So yeah, you might be onto something at this point in time. I think I could see cars happening.
Yes. I would love the van pack too. Like if they the elder, the van life, like you
Mm-hmm.
said, I would
Me
get
too.
behind that 100%. I think that would be a great pack. That would be a lot of fun. You could tell
Yeah.
so many interesting and intricate stories with that.
Oh man, could you imagine if you had, and this is where my imagination runs wild. You had a van life slash or a slash RV pack, and you have like Ennis Green this world in Enchanted by Nature. And
Right.
you got this whole, everything about this is embracing nature and becoming one with nature. So now you can
Right.
take your van life and just live off the land without being in the land, or you could take your RV to Ennis Green. I definitely could see the van life in Ennis Green. I mean, this would be great.
Yeah. Yeah. I could
And
see that too. Absolutely. Without a doubt.
yeah, this makes me think of something else, Jen. So, um, what I saw about Enchanted by Nature. So, my favorite feature of Life and Death is not it's more of a behind the scenes how it impacts my Sims feelings. It
Right.
was the grief system that they brought,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It has changed my Sims, like, so if you were watching my channel, you saw I had this episode recently where I'm playing my legacy family. The grown adult son called off the wedding with his wife, right?
Yes. Yes.
After that,
Yes.
yeah, their family has this conversation. Well, by the next day, I realized that his father is in grief. He is in grief
Yeah.
because the son broke out the wedding with his fiance. And
Oh.
yes, off camera,
Oh.
I've been sending them to grief counseling. It actually took me a while because they know so many people. I thought someone had died, but
Wow.
I got a pop-up that said, I it's understandable that some relationships begin and end, but unfortunately this
Right.
one end. I was like, he is grieving his son breaking up, like calling off the wedding. So it changed the game for me. So that said, Enchanted
Yeah.
by Nature is going to have a new system called the balance system. So it's going to be something about how you balance your life with nature.
Hmm.
And you can be imbalanced, you can be imbalanced, or you can be very imbalanced. So it said if you are very imbalanced, it will affect your relationships, your
Oh.
career, your skills will gain slower, and also your needs will be harder to keep filled. And to cure this, you can
Wow.
work your way to balance back out your life with nature, or you can go to the apothecary and buy an elixir to fix it. And it sounds like how the
Really?
grief system, yes, it sounds like how the grief system impacted the game. So that was the
I
next
think
thing that
so.
made me
Yeah.
that bumped me to 80%. Like, ooh, I went from like 15 or 10% to 80. Like, I might get this pack
Hmm.
because I would get life and death for the grief system alone. Because
Oh, yeah.
it has changed my Sims. Like, they have emotions now. They even like contact each other about it, like when they move out of each other's
Oh,
homes.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
We saw
They're
that with
like, go ahead. We saw with
Young Widow's Journey. I mean, one of the reasons why I wanted to do it is like, oh, this is a great way to demonstrate the grief system. And it was the first thing that happened was totally unexpected, totally
yeah,
unscripted.
I
And
was
I
shocked.
and I was just like, what? And when you heard me go, that was the actual reaction.
And this is me on my phone screen.
And I did not expect it. Did not expect it at all. But just having
Mm-mm.
her go through the motions of experiencing the grief, having her family rally around her, having her, have these smoothlets, like, what am I going to do now? How am I going to get through this? I got to hold it together. The different
Yes.
levels of grief that she had experienced. It was really involving. And then, of course, she
Yeah.
meets Wesley totally accidentally, and they
Yeah.
develop this friendship that evolved further to where it is now. And
Yeah.
I was like, this is where she was, this is where she is now. And she was still having those little bits of grief pop up every now and again, but it was a happy kind of a feeling of like she
Yeah.
knew that her
Like
mate would
I'm
be
gonna be
happy for her.
okay.
Right.
Yeah. Cause I
And
would get those too. Like she's like your sim is, like Phoebe is understanding that, grief is a part of life, but she's feeling like she can get through, like she's feeling more positive about the grief system.
yes.
I cannot stress. And the grief system combined with the grow together family dynamics and the love struck romance dynamics, and also the love struck, they have these feelings about like relationships and stuff.
Right.
The grief system, the co pack, like the way those packs are mingling has changed my game.
Oh
So
yeah.
I'm wondering if this balance system is going to be something like that. Now they have a secondary system that's luck. You can have good luck or bad luck, and
Hmm.
you can buy a charm to change your luck to good or bad because it's two charms. I think that one is going to be impact because they said some of the impact you'll see from that. But I think it's that balance system. I think that might be the thing. So can you imagine you got life and death grief, and now you are very imbalanced in the world. Your
Yeah.
needs are gonna be horrible. You're gonna be like that paralyzed lady on the ground by the tub.
That's true. That's true. Or
Cause
sleeping on the ground, which
yes,
I have to tell you, I love that. I love
me
that you can
too.
sleep on the ground. You can just pass out on the
Yeah.
ground. There you go.
Did you see the different positions? Cause she's like this, and then she's
Yeah.
like sprawled out. I was
Yeah.
like, yes.
Yeah.
You're gonna be on the ground from these things. I'm telling. But have you ever gotten this one from grief? Like oh my gosh, my son Mila had it so bad. She would get like she had all these deaths back to back, and it was like Mila finds it hard to get out of bed some days.
Yeah. Yeah.
I said, oh, I'm like at my computer, like I had to cut this when I record. I'm like, yes, game, yes.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's real. That happens. Especially when you have those losses all at one time. That's traumatic.
It's heavy, and my Sims
Yeah.
feel heavy. And another thing I noticed, when my Sim Mila had the back-to-back deaths in the family, some of them affected her husband because he had gotten close to some of them. But what it started to do was affect their romantic relationship, which is realistic.
Yeah. Yeah.
You were
Yeah.
talking about how long you've been married, and so you have these times, right, where you're still friends, you still love each other, but
Yeah.
sometimes like the central focus isn't the romance because it's just so bad right now. Our friendship is taking over so we can get each other through this and come back. And my Sims are experiencing that. They are like the romance is
That's
starting
real.
to
Yeah.
lower. It's still there, but it's lower. But the friendship is off the charts. They
Yes.
still have this supportive dynamic. So if this balance is going to piggyback on it, which I could see it doing it, I don't know. I would be in for the balance system. I would be in for it. It caught my
Yeah.
attention when I read about it.
That is extremely intriguing to me as well. I would love to see that dynamic play out. And I like the way they developed that layering system. We see that with Growing Together, Love Struck, Life and Death, B&H. And this one is going to be no different. But the way it will impact us, that's what I'm down for. The dynamics of the gameplay. How is that going to affect us as players overall? That's going to be, like you said, I'm here for it.
You're right, Jen. When you say the layering system, perfect description, because with B&H, once your business gets more successful, it starts to affect your moods, like bad customer experiences,
Oh,
negative
yeah.
reviews. You will see your sim starts to get these buffs, like it feels like everybody's watching me, like just paying attention to everything I do, like they start
Yes.
feeling like they can't please everybody. And I was like, this is a real thing. If you were a business owner or have done any kind of leadership role, you start to feel like you notice these things. So they're
Yeah.
doing excellent. I think they realized with Grow Together probably that they had figured something out. by life, and then comes life and death. Like you knew from the work they put in on the front end, because it was minor bugs. It was nothing crazy.
Right.
You knew that they had learned something. Like, and now with the occult and the normie side, when we see this gameplay trailer, we're gonna know, Jen, because I think that they found a formula that works. Give occult players something they want, give normal
Yes.
players something they want, and
Yes.
make it big.
Definitely. Definitely. I think that that's what they've done with this pack. And I think that's what we're going to see in the gameplay trailer. We'll find out when that gameplay trailer comes out. Unfortunately, I'll probably be at work when it comes out, but
Me too.
we'll definitely be
But as
talking
soon as I
about it.
get home, I'll be screenshotting. So as soon as I get home, I can sit down and get in front of the camera and tell you what I saw in it. And we got to live.
Oh yeah. Yeah. We definitely will go live. If I can switch my day off, I will try to do that. But you know what? It's actually really great when they do these gameplay deep dives. I like when the Sims team gets there, they explain what they've done, what we'll be seeing, how this works. And the one thing I want to see is what they did with Life and Death, turn all the packs on.
Yeah,
show
please.
us the cross pack gameplay overall, because that's important. How far can you take this? Where can you take this? Like you said, with B&H, businesses that can now be created. So many different options available.
Yeah.
And that's really going to be phenomenal. You know, could you imagine the horses, the fairies riding the horse?
I can. It would be hilarious. I would love seeing that.
Yeah. You know, seeing Pegasus horse, who knows? But, yeah.
And you know what? You say that one of the new cast items, it was a sweatshirt. They had different swatches on different Sims in the trailer. One of them, well, I think it was actually the t-shirt. It had a horse on it, a big horse. Because at first I looked, because I thought it might be a unicorn, but I think it was just a horse on the shirt. Brand new cast item in the fair. Yeah.
Wow. And one thing I hope that they've learned is, I know they can't put everything into the pack, but there were times where it's like, why didn't you include that? You know, that
was something obvious, like
something, yeah. And it's like
giant missed opportunities. Like,
why
did you not
do that? That's what I'm looking at. And it doesn't look like they've had that with this. You know, even with B&H, there were a few areas, I will say missed opportunities. But overall, you know, you saw me do it. I went back and forth a lot before I delivered Grand Slam. But I was like, I don't know. And then all of a sudden it was like, oh yeah, you know, that was the deciding moment. And I was like, yeah, definitely.
You had to play it through. But I respect that, because you didn't just like immediately jump, like, you know, you gave it time. And I respect like that kind of opinion, because you really dived in to see like the pros and cons of the pack. And in the end, you were like, yeah, I think this is gonna have to change to a Grand Slam. And so I just, for me, I do love the build buy in B&H.
Oh yeah,
love the build buy.
Yeah.
But outside of that, once I realized, and this is from a player who doesn't have all the packs, the sheer combination of types of businesses that I could make, I was a goner, because I'm like, oh yeah, even the motel, all I did was go and turn on to have Sims sleep there, shower, eat, drink coffee, like stuff, and read stuff you would do at a motel.
Right.
So, yeah.
Right.
But you absolutely could have a magic shop motel. Like, you could build it in B&H.
Yeah. Combine it. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm gonna do a petting zoo inspired by you. I'm gonna do a petting zoo / board game. So I don't know what it's gonna be called, but you're gonna come and you can pet the the sheep and goats and the horses, and then you can go and sit down and play cards or don't wake the llama or something like that.
Oh, speaking of llamas, this actually happened at work.
Okay.
We had a Catholic school visit, and there were some nuns, and they were feeding the llamas, and the llamas spit at the nuns. But they were great about it. They were like, the little kid came up to me and said, "Llama spit at the sister," and I was like, "Oh my god, no!" And then and she's wiping the spit off of her, and she says, "Oh, it's all right. It's fine." She was such a good sport about it. She was such a lovely person. It was so funny. But I can tell when they're ready because it looks like they're smiling at you. I'm like, oh hell no. I'm like
they're not smiling. Like, you're not fooling me.
No, I'm like, I'm out of here. Goodbye.
You start to read the signs, huh? You know what? Sometimes real life is stranger than fiction.
It is. The minute I see them, I'm like, I'm like, no.
Llamas will spit, and camels too, because we have like the little drive-through safari parks. Not here, like in Mississippi, there's one. In Tennessee, there's one. And I know a camel stole our whole tree bucket. Like, he grabbed the edge, and I'm like pulling, and he's pulling, and of course, he won. And he took our bucket, promptly dropped it on the ground on purpose. I thought it was an accident, and stuck his whole face in there so that he could run and eat at the same time. We are like 2 miles down the park, and I see this hooligan camel running up to the car, and he is at the window like, "Give me some more." I'm like, "Go away." We're like blowing. He jumps in front and blocks the little drive. It's like a dirt road. He blocks it, and he's like he's getting us. I'm like, "Are you robbing us?" Like, he's like, "Give me more." I'm like, "You took our stuff. Get away." I guess he didn't count on the food, like the trees running out, so he had to come back. The fact that he found us like 2 miles later was crazy. It's other cars here, like, "Go get them." Go jack them.
That is funny. Out of all the cars, he found your car.
Yes,
that's wild.
We started going sometimes. I gotta get Jean to go, but my mom wanted to go, and I was like, "Are you sure?" Because like, she's pretty scary. And she was like, "Yeah." So we go, and the first time we went, though, we are thinking drive-through zoo. We let the windows all the way down, thinking yes. We were maybe 2 minutes in, and we realized, let the windows up, let the windows. It was an ostrich. These are like gangster animals.
Oh, wow.
It's an ostrich chasing the car, like.
Oh my god.
I will have to find it if I can find it before. Like, I may post it on my community post. I got the best picture ever of my daughter and KA. They're in the back seat, and it's a emu reaching in the car trying to take the trees, and KA is probably like 5 at the time. He's like this with the bucket, and my daughter's like.
The emus were coming up to your car and you could feed them? Wow.
You could feed all of the animals out there. They even have water buffaloes, but they caution you that you go through there at your own risk. So we just look at them from a distance. They had giraffes. They come into your car. Pretty cool. Because I thought, like, it's Mississippi. It's kind of hot, but I guess most of those animals can be from areas that are hot weather.
Yeah. That's wild. It's fun. They used to have an attraction in New York at the Bronx Zoo where it was called Wild Safari. And Bronx Zoo, Great Adventure. Sorry, Great Adventure in New Jersey. I got them confused for a second. And you would go through Wild Safari, and they would caution you, do not open your windows as you go through Wild Safari. Because like monkeys would come out of nowhere and sit on top of the cars. They would tear the roofs if it was convertible.
That's crazy.
They had actual carnivores walking around, like lions and
hush.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then in certain sections, and it was wild. It was
Well, at
wild.
the safari zoos down here, when you see the signs before you go in, a lot of people probably wouldn't want to because it's like, we are not responsible for damage to your cars. We're not responsible for
Mm-hmm.
you enter at your own risk. I'm like,
Enter at
wait,
your
is it
own
safe or
risk.
no?
You know what was wild? My friend Incha and her family came up from where they live in New Jersey, and they were visiting family, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we want us to come see you." I was like, "Come to the game farm," you know. So they were like, "Yeah, okay." So they came to the game farm, and they had a wonderful time. They're walking all around and stuff. And the bison that we have there, we have a huge bison, and normally he's just very chill and calm, and he just hangs out. This guy was running all around his paddock, and you could feel the thunder of when he was running. It was like the wildest thing. I felt it in my chest. I was like, "Oh my God, that's incredible!" And she was like, "Oh my God, do you feel that?" I'm like, "Yeah."
He's like, Jen's got company, show out time.
And the kids are going like, "The ground's shaking. Oh my God." Oh. And my
I
boss
cannot
comes over.
imagine.
My boss comes over to say hi, and I introduce her to my friends, whatever. And she's like, "Oh my God, he's running around the paddock." And I'm like, "Yeah, it's awesome." She goes, "I've never seen him nearly do that before."
Really?
And it was hysterical. We had such a laugh over it.
Hilarious.
It was.
I mean, but where can you like, that's like a life thing, like a thing you've seen that like people don't just see. You know what I'm saying?
Like
I
that
just
picture I
love,
showed you earlier that I can't talk about until they let me talk about it. But I
So
but I
great.
showed you, yeah. And I was
Yeah.
just like, "Is that what I think it is?" And
That's
I
crazy.
call over the guy in animal care, and I'm like, "Come here, come here, come here." And he's like, "What? Do you see this?" And he goes, "Oh my God. I don't have my camera. Do you have?" He goes, "Yeah." And he takes the picture. And then I say, I got to run back. And so I run back into the office, and I'm like, "I gotta get my camera. There's you won't believe what's out there." They're like, "What?" I told them. They're like, "Oh my God." And everyone's
Isn't
running
it
now
fun?
like, "Oh my God, can we see them? Can we see them?" And it was such an incredible moment. I just was
That's
like,
amazing. It's funny how you have these things like you're just going about like work or your normal day, and then you have these like life moments that sometimes people would overlook. I just
yeah,
tell people just start feeling the joy in your life. Like stop, you definitely have like these bad times and things like that, but
yeah.
like linger in the joy part. You have to address the bad things and deal with them, but linger in the joy, like find joy because it's around.
It is. And that moment was just like something I never forget for the rest of my life.
I can
How
imagine.
When are you going to see that again? That for
Maybe
all I know, next
never.
year maybe. I don't know, but the thing,
Maybe.
maybe
Or maybe never, but you've
right,
seen
or
it,
maybe
so.
never, right? But that one little bit of joy, it like made my day, and I went back into
Absolutely.
the office, and I just sat there. I'm like, yeah, I work at a
Wow.
pretty cool place, don't I?
You do. You absolutely do.
And that's how I felt. And
Yeah.
I also couldn't wait to come on to the podcast tonight, hang out with you and talk. And
Same. I was
yeah,
ready.
it was like I was talking about it at work. I'm like, "Yeah, I got my podcast tonight. What time? 8:30. Oh, we're gonna watch." Okay. For all I know, they're watching now.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, I'm going on with Jen. I'm going out like I'm going on. So yeah, it's always a good time. I can't wait to the gameplay trailer, and
Yes.
we'll lock down a time so we can do this again, because usually
Absolutely.
those gameplay trailers can be up to like 7 minutes long. So
Yeah.
I think there's gonna be quite a bit in there. You'll definitely see some stuff you already seen, but usually get some brand new stuff. And I
Yeah.
can't wait to see it and break it down and talk to you about it. What about what you thought?
Definitely. It's going to be really interesting. I cannot Well, let's close it up with what we usually talk about. Final thoughts. What are your final thoughts on Enchanted by Nature? Were you enchanted by what you saw this week?
I was enchanted by the cast, the hairs, the build by. And even though I'm not a fairy fan, I did like what I saw in them. So, yes, I would say yes.
I agree. I was very surprised by what I saw. Didn't think I would have liked it, but lo and behold, I did. I think the thing for me, number one, was the world. The world was absolutely phenomenal. I think they did an incredible job with that. I love what I'm seeing in the gameplay, especially when it comes to the live plants. That was like, whoa, that
Yeah.
was great. And even though I'm not a big fairy player, those fairies were like, damn, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
And lastly, build by and then cast. Cast looks incredible. But as you know, I'm not a big cast player, but
Yeah.
I think this is going to be a win. Grand Slam, we don't know. We'll see when the gameplay comes out. But yeah, I'm going to be very, very, very much taking my little fine tooth comb through it and seeing what I can see when it comes out. That's for
Me
sure.
too.
Oh, yeah. So, on that note, I think we're going to end the podcast. And I would like to thank you, KT, for coming on to the GXSimmer Podcast. It was so great to have you on again and hang out. We haven't done this in a while. So, this was an absolute thrill. Guys, subscribe to KT at Just a Mom That Sims, also on her social media on Instagram, Blue Sky, and of course on YouTube here. And
Yeah.
KT, thank you so much for coming on today.
Thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure. Absolutely. And all of you, I hope that you have a fantastic weekend. Subscribe to me on GXSimmer, also on IG, Facebook, Twitter, and of course, YouTube. Until next time, guys, if you would leave us off, KT.
Until next time, remember, keep simming, be happy, and always have a blessed day. Bye bye.
Okay, guys, bye bye. Have a great night.